everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Daddy Issues. My name's Dean McDermott. I'm a daddy of 6. With me, as always, is Adam Hunter, who's a new daddy, and Nicky Paris, who still needs his daddy.
I love you, Dad.
We miss you, Dad.
Miss you, Dad.
We miss you. We have a really cool dad on
A
today.
great guest today. I'm really excited.
Great dad, great guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Scott Baio.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you very much. Glad to be here.
Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
Now,
You guys are all friends except for you, Nicky. I never met you before.
No, I've known Scott for years. What happened was when I was on Last Comic Standing, his wife hit me up on like Facebook. Renee Baio go, hey, just so you know, Scott and I are rooting for you. And I
She
thought,
was.
And I thought it was.
wasn't.
I thought it was a joke.
Right.
So like I was like, yeah, sure. It's Scott Baio. It's really okay, sure. So then I was like, she's like, we want to come see you. So then I was like half off. I thought it was just like, oh, you guys are getting me, troll. And then Scott shows up with his wife.
Where were
I
you
was
at the
like,
Improv?
awesome.
Or
I was
here?
at the Laugh Factory.
Oh, Laugh Factory.
And
That's
I was
right,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, that really is Scott Baio.
Did you still give them the half off?
I felt like an asshole. Even.
Not even the full ticket
I
for
felt like-
our sweet Scott?
I felt like the biggest dick. I was like, oh man, I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was pulling my leg. Yeah, I
No,
didn't
we
think
were
it was actually.
fans.
Scott, I know we
Yeah.
just met, but when I do a show, 3/4 off a ticket. Not even just half. I got
all right,
you.
man. I'm in.
Oh, yeah. You'll never pay for a ticket with me, Scott, ever.
Whatever.
75%
Your
of the
money's
ticket
no
to
good
me,
here.
Scott.
That's okay. No, we were big fans of yours. We certainly were.
It was the best. And then me and Scott became friends over the years. And he's such a good guy that he's a great dad. By the way, like his daughter is just like. When I look at my daughter, I'm like, oh, I would love to have my daughter end up. She plays golf. She's like a, par or whatever the good golf terms are.
golfer.
Scratch
No, she's
golfer.
not scratch yet.
Is she
like-
a scratch
She's
golfer?
getting there. She's getting
She's
there.
like sweet. She's like a nice person, And I'm like, so I was like, this would be a great thing to have Scott on to figure out how to get my daughter when
How
she's
to get you
older.
that? Yeah, because I've got a 10-year-old daughter, so yeah, maybe I'd get some pointers from you, Scott.
Did you always want a daughter or did you want a son?
Oh well, you're a guy. You always want a son, right? But when my daughter came, it's a whole different emotion, because when she was born, my immediate instinct was protection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to protect her, and she was just so damn cute. But you'll see that there's a different. I see it in school. There's a different relationship, and you certainly know this, between boys and girls and their dad. My girl owns me.
Yeah.
I mean, owns me. And I have such a heart. I go to bed every night thinking, oh, did I screw up my kid today? Oh God, what did I say to her? Did I ruin her? Did I hurt her feelings? Did I make her something later in life that's going to come back and haunt her? And I think
Wow.
boys, you go to school, boys in school are morons.
Complete.
Yeah.
I was a
absolutely,
moron.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
walk into walls.
Boogers
they
and
walk
all.
around with one shoe off. And
It
girls-
explains tetherball to me, because that game is just like, but they love it. They
And
can't
girls
get
are all organized, and they have that, and they talk to each other, and they reason things out. Boys are just dumb.
But she seems very polite, and I
She's
work
very
with
sweet.
a lot of kids that are not.
Thank you.
I coach a middle school team of wrestlers, and a lot of times you get super polite kids. Sometimes you just get kids that are just jerks, and it's usually with the parents. You can see with the parents that aren't there for the kids are usually it's harder for the kid, less control.
That's the best compliment I get when people come up, especially in restaurants when we're there with all 5 of them, and people come up after and they say, you have like wonderful kids, because you've been sitting here for like a 2-hour dinner and your kids well behaved, nobody's freaking out, nobody's throwing anything. And I was like, thank you. That's the best compliment
really.
you can give a parent.
Yep.
What do you do in those situations when the kids do get out of control? Like, do you guys ever hit your children?
No.
Not in front of people.
I got the
Come
shit beat
on.
out of me.
So did I.
I used to get spanked.
Yeah.
The
Got
wooden
hit.
spoon.
The wooden spoon.
Oh, I got hit in school.
Really?
Oh my God. Are you
Like
kidding
how?
me?
Like
In
a
Catholic
black
school?
eye?
A black
Actually,
guy?
yeah, you know what?
Oh, a
we
black
had-
eye.
All the black guys in Brooklyn. Just like, beat 'em up.
They hate
The
black
nun was
guys-
like, "Get in, Tyrone."
Black guys hate Scott Baio.
No, I got a black eye from a nun.
Really?
nun?
Yeah, man. Yeah, got punched in the eye by
You got a
a
black guy? Wow.
Wait, what happened? Explain this.
Oh, we
What, did you try and slip her jab and
No.
she caught you with a cross?
I went to the body. Go to the body, the body. No, we were coming in from recess, me and my friend Anthony, and she said before we went to recess, when you come in, I want you all to shut up. And we came in laughing. And he sat in front of me 1 row over, and she started hitting him, and I was laughing. I had my head down laughing. As soon as I picked my head up,
No.
bing!
What
right
kind
in
of
the eye.
school is this?
It
Like
was Catholic
Nuns
school.
Gone Wild?
No, it was Catholic. Man, we
It
got
sounds
hit
like the scene from the Blues Brothers. Remember?
That's crazy.
Got hit with rulers, got hit with everything.
Oh my God.
When did that end?
I don't know because
A
I
long time
remember.
ago.
I remember
International
there was
Cup.
a paddle in the principal's office
had
in my
that.
school. I never got the paddle, but it was there.
You got the paddle too, Scott?
She had a ruler that was metal. It's about this, like this. And you have to bend over, grab your ankles, and she would give you, depending
No
on
wonder why
what
you
you
became a
did,
big Hollywood star. You couldn't wait to get out of the fucking school.
you got whacked in the rear end, man.
Now, how did your life change when you went from being, getting paddled and beat up by nuns to all of a sudden being the biggest star in the world, or in the U.S. at least? That must have been crazy.
It was pretty good.
I remember watching like where they're like
Look,
on VH1, and it was just like people were just storming you.
Oh, Adam, that's such a hard question because I thank you for that, by the way. I was just living it. I don't have anything really to compare it to. I just did it, and it was great, and it was very heady and all that kind of stuff.
But did you realize how
exhilarating.
lucky you were at the time, or no?
No.
Did the nun apologize?
Did you go back?
I was going to say,
But
did you go
I
back?
did go back to my
You did.
school. I did.
Did you see that nun?
No, I did not.
No.
I did, but I went back to school. It was fantastic. But and listen, I'm a normal human being relatively, and I got whacked in the ass. But no, it was. Listen, there comes a time when you realize you're just doing it, and you get a big head, and I did, and then you get smacked down verbally by some people, and then you learn, then you appreciate, and that's how you go through it.
Who smacked you down verbally?
Excuse me, my dad and Gary Marshall.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would they say?
This can go away tomorrow.
Yeah.
And get your head screwed on and go to work. I'm
Now,
not paying you to be an ass.
Who got through to you more, your dad or Gary Marshall?
Dean, that's a very good question. I would probably say, I think my dad, because he and Gary are very similar people, both old school New Yorkers, and Gary was half Italian, half Irish, although he's talked like an old Jewish guy. But no, my dad. When your dad sits you down, when your dad really sits you down and looks in your eye, and you get that fear of God. You go,
No, my dad, he couldn't look me in the eye because he was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was looking at you and the ceiling at the same time.
He had one eye looking at me, one eye looking for me.
But it's the opportunity. I mean, nobody gets that opportunity. I mean, my God. So I got my act together.
But even now, like you look at like the way Hollywood is now, like there isn't that show that makes stars anymore, like there was back then. Like,
well, it's all so fragmented, isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, there's a million channels. And
There's a million channels, and now there's different ways of becoming a star. It used to be, you did your work and you got on television and you became a star and you worked and you got into movies. Now, our star system is whacked. People are like doing reality shows. People off the street can
You
become.
need a fat ass and an Instagram account.
Yeah, fat ass.
But you can have a YouTube channel, and that person's making millions of dollars a year, and nobody will know. You walk into a restaurant, and 35 years ago, some television guy walked in, everybody recognized him, right? Now, somebody who's getting 20 million hits on YouTube, I wouldn't know who anybody is.
No, I remember recently I was telling my wife I did a show in Vegas, and Marlon Wayans was showing up to a guest set. I'm like, hey,
Marlon?
Marlon. I'm like, babe, Marlon
Love
Wayans is
Marlon
on tonight.
Wayans.
And she's like, oh, what's he been up to? I'm like, he has a show called Marlon on NBC. like back in the day, if you had a show on NBC with your name in it,
right.
everyone would know what you were doing. And she's like, oh, I just, I watch Netflix. We don't have, whatever it is. It's just, it's
Right.
like it's a wild. I remember even back when online and you were feuding with people. People were like, oh, what's Scott Baio? But I'm like, Scott Baio had a show for the last 4 years on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it's just too much information. There's just too much stuff out there.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
which was nice. He put me on the show. It was me. I was on. He had a talk show on his show. See That Run, and then Raven Simone was on it, and I never actually saw Raven Simone. Like they kept having script changes up to the last minute, right? Like the last second did have a script change, and I knew Raven did not get the last script change because she was just not. She was into it, but not. And all of a sudden they gave her like 3 pages to do, and like while shooting the scene, like she's like, oh, I didn't get this. She looked at it for 3 seconds, and then nails the whole thing. And I was like, "Oh my god!"
And then you had one line.
One line.
And
I was
you shit the bed.
stuttering and like calling my acting coach. It was like my line was like hi.
Listen, Raven was a psychic on the
Dinner
Disney
served.
Channel, so that's how she was able to. That's so
But
Raven.
I was like,
what?
She had a show where she was a psychic on the Disney Channel.
It's still on, isn't it?
No.
My kids, I thought.
Oh, Raven's back. Yeah, now she's
Yeah.
a parent of psychics.
There we go. She's a
Oh,
parent of
really?
psychic.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, is that
my
what the
kids
show's
watch.
about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Scott, if you weren't Scott Baio, what do you think you'd be doing?
A professional
well,
golfer?
Besides getting the
a
shit
what?
beat out of
Be
you by
on the tour,
nuns.
the PGA Tour?
Oh, would that be? Oh, that'd be so fantastic. No, I'm not good enough. Crap. I wanted to be a veterinarian,
Wow.
but
I would've thought, yeah,
but
vet,
I
yeah.
didn't. I wasn't smart enough. I was not a very good student. I didn't apply myself.
Well,
at all.
you've hooked up with a lot of bunnies.
Oh, yeah. Hey. My wife is listening at it. Be
Sorry.
nice.
She's a bunny, right?
Be nice.
It's a family show.
No.
For
Oh,
Christ's
sorry.
sake.
She'll
Get the
call
nun
it
in
out
here.
there.
Sorry,
Get the nun in here.
sorry.
That's the third rail. That you can't talk about that.
Sorry about that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I honest to God, I've been doing this since I'm 9 years old. I don't know.
So but you've always had something in you that's been very a caregiver in a way, either to as an animal, to a child. You have always had a loving side to you.
I like dogs a lot. I like animals a lot.
By the way, I felt so bad because I thought he was supposed to come here at 4 o'clock. He'd been waiting for a half an hour, and to get Scott out of the house, like it was one of the hard. Like I did this. I did a show for him. We'll talk about this in a second because people don't know this, but it was a charity show, and they were raising money for kids, sick kids, and one of the prizes was a round of golf with Scott Baio, right? So people were bidding. And all of a sudden, the bidding kept getting higher and higher because he was bidding against everyone else because he didn't want to play with anybody. Like it just, like
So you just wanted to pay the money
yeah.
and
and
stay at home.
and now everybody's against him because they know how much he doesn't want to play with people. So it raised so much money.
I'm a little weird.
Oh.
How
Yeah,
much
had-
money did it raise?
I don't remember. I don't even know if I won. I didn't win it.
So
Like
when,
somebody outbid me.
when Scott's kid was born, they thought that she was diagnosed with like a terrible, terrible illness, like a life-threatening illness. Turns out a year later, right? A year later?
3 months.
3 months later, they found out it was a false positive, that she didn't have that. But
What did they think it was?
A very rare metabolic disorder called glutaric acidemia 1. It's the short of it is your body can't process protein, so it shoots it up to the brain and you get brain damage. And it's life-threatening. It's a short life and all kinds of physical problems and on and on and on. And it was rough. You know, we thought she was going to have this disorder, and we had to wait 3 months to find out whether or not she was. And I'm not going to bore you with the whole story, guys. It's an hour-long story, but it's the worst time of my life. And so my wife started this. We started this foundation called the Baio Angel Foundation, which helps children with metabolic disorders. And we have golf tournament every year.
every year
Now,
they raise money,
you
and
play?
they
You
like.
play golf?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got to September 23rd. You got to come out.
I'm in.
It's
I'm
right
in,
by us. You're in
yeah.
Encino?
Yeah, I'm in Hidden Hills.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't
But,
want to say where you live. Never mind. He lives in Queens.
Well, it doesn't matter because by the time it comes out, they'll move.
No. Somebody, but it's close.
I
to,
said it rhymes with Hidden Hills.
It's okay. It's very close to where you live.
Okay.
So I'll
I'm
invite
in.
you.
I would
So
love
the
that.
kid
And
was
bring your wife, please.
misdiagnosed, and for the last like 10, 12 years, every year they raise all this money for these kids, and they send over trucks and buses and take them to Disneyland, and this. It's the nicest thing you could do. So they hired me to be a comic for this, right? Which I'm like, it was just not. I'm always nervous because it's kids everywhere.
Right, and you're.
So
not-
I had to follow the first year. I had to follow this like little kid fashion show, right?
Oh, that was the difference.
So
yeah, okay.
I went up there and I'm like, let's get up for John Bonet Ramsey and her friends. So, like, it went so bad, right? So then I tried doing stand up, right?
It's very
And
funny.
it was rough.
You're a good
right?
sport, Adam.
It was
You're a good
rough.
sport, man.
I was
Seriously.
like, Scott, you know, like, hey, man, I was looking at a list of girls. Scott it was just horrible, right? Just like I was.
He just kept
And then
digging
then he
a
started
little
getting to start to do political jokes.
Political jokes that went bad. It was all like
For children?
So
No,
then,
he didn't know where to go. I felt so bad.
it was so bad. So
Aw.
then they had an art auctioneer after me, right? And that no one was bidding on the thing. They go, if no one else bids, I'm bringing the comic
Coming
back
back
up.
out.
And then people started bidding. That's how bad it was. People were bidding to have me not go back up.
Yeah, but you were a good
But it was
sport.
for the
You're great.
children.
It was
Yeah,
no. I've
it
been
was for
back
the
there a
children.
bunch of times. I have so much fun doing that. I'll do that any time.
Yeah,
It's
I
great.
would love to be a part of it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
cool. Thank you. September 23rd. Keep that
I'm
in
in.
your
I'm in.
Rolodex. And your do I have Rolodexes anymore?
Oh gosh, no.
And then I see
Or-
Scott doing Krav
calendar.
Maga
Are you doing Krav Maga?
with his
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. You have to come and box with me.
You know, I can't throw a left hand because I have two tears in my left shoulder in my
jeez.
rotator
How
cuff.
did you do that?
I have no idea.
So are you golfing anymore?
I can play golf all day long.
Right.
I can throw very weak, but I can't throw a full punch. What I did was, ready for this? You know this stuff called PRP?
No.
Platelet-rich
I know PCP,
rich
but
platelet-rich plasma. So what they do is they draw your
Oh, right.
blood,
Okay.
they spin it, and all that foamy stuff on top,
Yeah.
that's platelets, and they inject it where you have an injury. So I did it from a friend of mine who's a doctor, great guy, Neil Gadar. And I did the first shot. I went, oh my God, this is a miracle. Because I've had a surgery on each of them over the years. And I went, this is incredible. So like an idiot, what do? You
More.
think you're 100%.
Oh.
And I went to do Krav, and I threw a left hook and went, oh, crap, oh, no. And I injured it again. So now I got to. So I can't throw a left hand.
Okay.
I can throw a jab.
But you're gonna get the foamy stuff again.
I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
So Dean has this thing boxing. He's a boxing instructor, but you could
Neil Godardra. Sorry.
you could punch him, but like he can't punch
It's
you back.
one way sparring. So everything you learn on the punching bag and the focus mitts in a bag class, you get to jump in the ring with me, and you get to throw those combinations.
And you just block.
And I won't. Yeah, I bob and weave and stuff. I'll let you hit me because I like people to feel what it's like to hit
Hurts.
somebody. And
Hurts getting hit.
You
well,
you don't think maybe that
I'm
you're
all
like
geared
a
up, but
masochist? And
people,
that's why you have
people.
6 kids.
I love it because people. It's so funny. There are people get in the ring and they're like, I've never hit anybody in my life before. I'm like, okay, don't worry, just relax and we'll work on a simple combination. We'll start moving around the ring, and by the time I get them loosened up and they're throwing punches and stuff, they feel like $1,000,000. They feel empowered and they walk out of there like 7
Let's go
feet
kick
tall.
some ass.
Yeah, they
You get
feel
to be somebody's
they-
first
yeah, but,
punch.
But in
How-
real life,
Yeah.
that person's gonna
What a
punch
moment.
back.
What's that?
Aren't you kind of preparing them to have someone not punch them back?
No, but I get to a certain level with my clients where I'll start to throw back. I put them in headgear and I start to throw back because they're getting to a point. Like I'm taking people who have never punched anybody before in their life to people who have some boxing skills. So I try to appeal to everybody and give them a little something.
Have you ever been in a street fight, Scott?
When I was
Just with the nun.
12,
You were 12.
and my none took me out. So I'll tell you an interesting story about boxing. You ready? Can we talk about whatever?
Whatever-
Yeah,
No
whatever you
babies
want.
and
This is
stuff,
your
right?
show,
brother.
Whatever you
No.
want.
So doing Happy Days, and in the show, in the particular episode, I'm supposed to get in the ring with a guy for whatever. I don't remember the story. It's irrelevant. So the guy they hire to play the guy I'm fighting is Sean O'Grady. Remember the ex-welterweight champion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, great guy, and exactly my size. So, with trunks on, everything on. There's some downtime. So I said, "Hey, Sean, look, let's get in there. Please, don't be crazy. I just want to see what this is
light.
like. I just want to see what this is like." He says, "Yeah, man, come on." So we get in the ring, and I can throw. I'm not like you, but I know how to throw a punch or whatever. And I'm throwing. And he's
Yeah.
like, son of a bitch, and I can't hit this guy. Right, so I throw a haymaker and I clip him in the shoulder. He goes, flip, catches me here. And I go, I said, okay, I got it. I got it. He goes, you got nothing, man. He says, imagine that 10 times harder, coming at you 20 times a second,
Yep.
and hit you in the body. So I said, get it, I got it, forget it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, they're completely different beasts. Professional fighters, I don't know. And as much as I did 15 rounds today, 15 3-minute
I mean,
rounds
there has to be
today.
an anger that you have to
Yeah.
draw from, right, to
And
your
What do you
professional
mean you did
fighter.
15-3? Sorry?
I feel like you have to have like an anger that you draw from to your professional fighter. Like, where do you
but
get that?
But you also have to be able to take a hit. I mean, there are some great fighters out there who can't take a hit. They have a glass jaw.
Mm-hmm.
You drop them like that, but they're fit, they're strong. It just
So you did
to
15
be
rounds.
able to
You
take
sparred 15 rounds with who?
No, but that's not a
with the
people.
people in the class, clients in the class.
The thing that always I think people don't realize is that you have to hit while you're being hit.
Yeah,
You got to counter,
yeah.
and you got a glove in your cheekbone, and you try to throw a right hand. That's friggin' hard, man.
It's really hard. It's really hard.
So what's a day like? Because I always wonder, man. What's a day of Scott Baio's like? Like I never know what I've known you
Now?
for 10 years, but I never know exactly what your day. What do you do? I know that you smoke cigars with your friends, and I know you watch Fox News.
I'll give you. I watch Fox News. I have it on a loop. I have it on. It's all my wife gets me. It's on all the televisions in the house. Well, it's very exciting. I get up in the morning, take my daughter to school, and I come home, and sometimes I'll get back in bed,
I love it.
and then
I'll do that too.
and then I'll
the best.
then I'll get up and I'll.
What do you eat? What do you have for breakfast?
I have. You know what? For the past 6 months, I have the same thing. I have granola. This really good. It's called Bob's Red Mill granola.
Yeah, I love Bob's.
Man, I buy it. I go to
It's
Gelson's
awesome.
and I take.
Yeah.
I can't. Anyway,
He's got
With-
everything too. He's got pancake mix.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Cake and
Yeah.
cookie mix. He's really good. Yeah.
with berries and bananas, and then, I'll go listen to Rush Limbaugh on the radio and pay some bills, and then play some golf, and then smoke a cigar, and then I'll go get my kid.
And then dinner. And then it's dinner time.
And then dinner,
that
and then
sounds perfect to me. That
Is it bombs for
sounds-
dinner too,
and then,
Scott?
a lot of the times it is.
Really?
Yeah.
So and then,
That's a
And then I'll
perfect
watch
day.
a movie with my
That
kid
is
and
a
my
perfect
wife.
day.
My wife is on this show right now. Chris Lee knows best.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Never, you ever see it?
No.
It's a reality.
Chris Lee- Chris Lee-
Yeah,
Chris Lee Chrisley's
Todd Chrisley, who's straight, is
who's straight. Why would you say he's straight? Why would you say that?
because he's gayer than me.
Right. Okay. He acts like he is,
I thought
right?
he was
Yeah.
gay too.
No, really. Like I can't believe that he's straight. I
Right.
mean, that really is. It's
He's
like
a very metrosexual.
he's
guy.
like I am straight. I'm like, you're wearing a boa.
Does he have the sibilant S too?
Yeah.
He's got the accent
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
lift.
he's
yeah,
got
totally.
a heavy duty. But
Yeah.
but we watch television, and I'm in bed 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Sometimes
We're the
8:30.
same. Tori and I are the same.
Forget it.
We aim to get into bed by 9. Get
You
the
guys should have a
kids
sleepover. It
fed.
could be a big celebrity
But so
slumber.
you aim to get in bed? I have to crawl. I'm like so freaking tired.
But you live in that great big house, and like so what do you do? So like you work really hard for like 5-10 years, then you take a couple years off, and then work real hard again, take 10 years off. Like how do you do it?
Well, financially,
Yeah. Smart.
He's like Susie
You
Orman.
made really good investments.
yeah.
Yeah.
And probably work forever, man.
Yeah.
Forever. You know what? And you'll understand. Whoever has a kid. When my daughter was born, my entire world went like this.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be, as in the entertainment business, you're always chasing something, chasing the next gig. You do. If you would have told me, I'm going to give you a series now for 10 years, my first thought would have been, well, what do I do when the show's over? So that's the mentality of an actor. Forget the 10 years. It's what am I doing next?
Right.
And once my daughter was born, I just didn't care. I just wanted to be with her, and I didn't want anybody else raising her. I just wanted to be with her and my wife and live that way. It's hard, man. It's freaking hard. They're tough people, kids. They're tough, and you got 6.
They're the worst people I know.
6. You know
They're
that Bill
just-
Cosby special himself? Have you ever seen it?
I'm sure I've.
Is it the one where he puts the roofie in the drinks?
No, come on. Let's
He
not
invites
go.
girls to his hotel room.
This is from the 80s.
Oh, okay.
He's
The
wearing-
pudding
he's
episode?
got-
He was doing that in
he's
the
got
80s
that
too.
crazy zigzag, colorful sweater.
No, he's got a tie, suit and tie.
Suit and tie. Okay.
Anyway, it's brilliant. But he calls
The brown,
children
chocolate brown suit and tie.
calls
Yeah.
children brain damaged people.
Brain
and they
damage.
are.
Yes, I
It's
remember
tough.
It's so hard. It was easier before because the measles weren't around, and I was taking her to the classes and the library, wiping her out. She was tired. I'd take a nap. Now my wife is like, no, we can't go anywhere in public, and you can track the measles. They're at the Coffee Bean. They're
Women
at
are funny
Runyon.
that way.
They're at the.
Wait, what do you mean? There's an app?
There's
that,
an
like-
app.
Yeah.
There's a website where you can see the measles were at the Grove today.
You know what you need?
What?
You need I call them Johnny jump ups, but they're the thing that you hang in the door that they can jump in.
Yeah.
It's like a little mini bungee.
No, she loves it, but I want to.
Does she
I
have
like
one of
it,
those,
Yeah,
the
but
one
I
that you
used to
hang in the
like it
door?
when she made
It'll
friends, and I'd talk
wear
to
them
people.
out.
But now I can't. She's not vaccinated until she's 1, so I got 3 months every day with her in the house, which is great. But it just wipes. I'm just trying to figure out how to make a phone call or an email.
But you
or
see,
this.
what I did, what you don't want to do, is I learned that whatever I had to do or wanted to do, I would just take her.
Yeah,
I just take her and go.
Yeah, he takes her everywhere.
So that's great.
yeah, but now I can't take her because
of the measles.
The measles, yeah. But
So put
Scott
her-
gave me great advice. I go, Scott, I'm really worried because my wife is Christian and we're getting married and I'm Jewish and she wants to have a minister at the wedding and I want to have a rabbi.
Baptism.
But the whole thing, Scott's like, listen, you don't want to die on this mountain. I was like, thanks, man. He's like, whatever she wants. I'm like,
Exactly right. There's
all right,
other
man.
There's other mountains you got to climb. my
I'll talk
friend.
to you later, man. All right. Like, that was
Yeah,
actually good advice.
Because are you really looking forward to? Like, I mean, you are looking forward to the wedding, getting married, but
I got
really,
married.
No, at the time,
Oh,
or if
yeah.
anybody's getting married, like, is a guy really
No.
looking forward to the
Never.
wedding and stuff? No, it's just
Really?
like, again, don't die in that mountain. Let her have her day.
Yeah.
Guys just
You guys
show-
weren't excited at all?
What mountain should you die
It's
on?
not
To a
excited.
certain,
It's not
to a
excited or
certain
excited.
point. To a certain point, it's like, yeah,
Come on,
I'm
the vent
pledging-
all about me.
I'm
I'm like,
pledging
I'm
my
there.
love to this woman. I'm excited about that to go through the ceremony, but everything else
But you
around
guys had a small
it,
wedding, though, right?
Yeah, we
So
took
did
off.
we.
We took off to
Really?
Fiji.
Yeah. Got married.
That was-
You went to Fiji and got
yeah,
married.
yeah. We took off to it's a private island, Wakaya Island.
That's nice.
The guy who owns Fiji Water.
Who married you?
Guy
who owns Fiji Water?
Yeah, Fijian priest. Yeah,
A Fijian
a
priest.
Fijian priest.
Is
Yeah.
it? Is it? Does it count in America?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just checking.
I think I better check on that.
Your wife's from Tennessee. His wife is like the strongest Southern woman I've ever.
My wife is no bullshit.
No,
I don't
bullshit.
think I've ever met
Dude,
your
she had
wife.
No
cancer.
bullshit.
Cancer ran away from her.
Yeah.
She's like fuck. I've never met a more sweet, small, adorable thing, but just
Just don't mess with her.
Well, you
Don't-
met my
don't
wife at
mess
one of
with
those gifting things.
Oh yeah.
I say this about my wife. Thank you. My wife is the rightest person I've ever met in my life. Other than like my dad, who was the kind of similar in a lot of ways. She's just, and I mean by the rightest.
like
not-
like to the right, like
no,
left, right. Oh.
well that too.
going.
No,
Well, politically?
but no, that plus she just wants to do what's right about everything, and some people don't know how to take that.
Yeah.
You know, and
True.
you know what I mean. She'll tell somebody to their face, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I go,
Now, is she on your
Christ.
Twitter or is that you on the Twitter? Sometimes I feel like she's
It's both
yelling
of
at
us.
people.
She does it. No, she. I let her take over sometimes, but whenever I really tweet, we talk
But
about
you
what I'm
could,
going
you
to
could
say.
tell it's her though because
Yeah.
she's like, well, just so you know, like, I'm like, that's not Scott.
She does some of it, but most of it's me. But I let her just run loose sometimes because she has a good time on it. But it's I know what she's saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know what I'm not a complete idiot, although I am a lot of the time when it comes to children, especially.
You guys went to the White House last month.
We did.
What was that like? Did you take anything?
Have you been to D.C.?
Yes, I have. My
When?
ex-brother-in-law used to live in D.C.
When was that? Years ago.
20 years ago.
Okay. Did you walk around?
A little bit, yeah.
Have you been to D.C.? You?
I've been there, but I haven't really walked around.
It was in
Yeah.
the dead of winter. We didn't walk around
Yeah.
that much.
It's great. I'm one of the best trips. We went with another family from school. It is an amazing town. I thought it was a dump, was what I was told.
Yeah.
But we went there for vacation over Easter, and beautiful. People were great, but the monuments and the memorials.
They're pretty amazing. I wish I had gone at that time. I think we were there in February.
Now, did Trump give you his own personal tour?
No. I didn't even get to see the president. He was in cabinet meetings. I went, yeah, well, tell him I'm here, guys. I'm not going to be there. But we got to see
the Baio's here. Come
we
on.
got to see the White House, and I met him a couple of times. But I'm telling you, that town is fantastic.
No, but you met him.
It is a great town.
That-
I
that-
really enjoyed it. Great restaurants too, which I love.
We went to the
What's that
Capitol Grill.
What's that little?
Oh, and by the way, did you stay at the Trump Hotel when you were there?
No, I stayed. We stayed at our brother-in-law's.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
It was nice.
Now you went to a Trump rally, and you and Trump were exchanging, and you're like, "Hey,
I didn't
love
go
your
to a
idea."
Trump rally.
Oh, where did you guys meet when he's like, "Hey, I want you to speak at the convention"?
At a fundraiser in Brentwood.
So when you went to a fundraiser,
It wasn't at the Seventh Veil down there.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's damn funny.
Now you guys are just talking, right? And all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, Scott, you want to talk tomorrow night in front of the whole country, the whole world?"
Pretty much.
And then you got an Air Force One, and they flew
No.
you out?
No. I
They threw him in an Uber.
to DC. No, to Cleveland.
Hopefully it was an XL.
I had met him before at Trump Tower when I think he became the nominee, and then I was at this fundraiser, and he was walking off, and he saw me, and I went, Mr. Trump, hey Scott, blah blah. He says, did you want to speak? And I'm
speaking
no,
now.
No, I thought he was because he just gave a speech. I thought no, a little late. He goes
Yeah.
at the convention. I went, and he grabbed me in a headlock. He said, "Come on inside."
Are you
Wait, really?
serious?
Yeah, not to me. Just come on,
Yeah.
like a guy. Hey, come on.
He put,
Wait, and
they
we
give you a
walked-
noogie?
No, he just
Oh.
grabbed me like hey, come here, good to see you, and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And he just grabbed me. He said, "Come on inside. I'll hook you up with this person. If you want to do it, you let me know. If you don't want to do it, I understand," and all that. And I said okay, and I went inside, and as as I'm walking in with him, I get a tap on my shoulder, and it was a Secret Service guy. He says, "I need to be where you are." I said, "That's cool, man." So we went inside and in the house, and he was doing his picture thing, and I was talking to Hope Hicks. I don't know if you know that name. She was
Yeah.
one of his advisors, and she set me up, and she said, write what you want to write, and we'll run it by.
She was a beauty queen, right? Hope Hicks, wasn't she?
Yeah,
the-
I think she was. And run it by Mr. Trump and all that kind of stuff. And I said, cool.
Now, I mean, how I'd be so nervous. Every word, I'd be like, crossing it off. Like, this sounds stupid. This is. I mean, how writing that speech at the convention?
I wrote it in church.
Really?
Yeah. I sat down, I had a pen and paper, and I just wrote it. I just wrote what I felt like saying.
People weren't like, "Why aren't you paying attention to the service right now?"
That's a big church. And I just wrote it, and I ran it by. They said, do 4 minutes. And I went, what the hell's 4 minutes?
A tight 4.
Wow.
So I said, okay, and I gave it in, and
That must have been. I mean,
And leading up to that, were you nervous? Were you?
oh my God, I didn't know what I was. So what they do is this: so you go. We went into it was at like a big basketball with a convention, not a convention, but an arena. And so you go in there, and what they do is they put you on a prompter, see if you can read a prompt. I said, yeah, I'm okay with the prompter and all that. So they said, you want to go see the arena? I said, sure. And it was empty. And I walked in, I went, oh, shit, I can't do this. Yeah. I can't. This is not what I do for a living. I can't. And so, I'm sweating, and I'm backstage, and my pits are all wet, and I'm like, dang it, what the hell am I doing here? And then they announced me, and I was nervous as soon as I hit the podium. And then I was cool.
wow.
And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I have to track that down and watch it because I didn't see it when
it was forget where you are politically. Anybody gets a chance to do that.
Of course.
Oh, that's
it was
amazing.
Just amazing.
That's
and then,
an honor.
And then we went back to the White House like some time later, later on, the year later, and he took us up into the Lincoln bedroom and all that.
That's cool.
It was awesome. And by the way, his wife, wow, I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
God dang it.
Yeah. Is it one of those things too where she's even more beautiful
Yeah.
in person?
Yeah, she is.
Do you think you might ever get involved in politics? Think you might ever run?
No, I just don't. I don't like. I don't like. There's so much. They go after every single thing in your life, and I'm not.
I was going to
interested
say,
in
how
that.
do you feel? I mean, you're constantly getting attacked for your political beliefs on this in social media.
Mhm.
That's got to be frustrating as hell, as well as all the other things that people can take shots at people for on social media.
It's not frustrating, but it's frustrating if you just start name calling. If you want to come back with a good rebuttal, then fine.
Right.
But don't call me whatever. And this, be a child.
Right.
Just say, here's what I believe, and I think you're wrong, and here's why, and that's fine. And I'll talk all day long. But people, listen, this social media thing is out of control. I think it really is.
I
Because you can say anything you want.
Oh yeah. I noticed that.
And I don't think you should be able to.
I noticed
No,
there are certain guys that are Republicans in Hollywood. They got the Bruce Willises and certain other guys. But then you have like Dean Cain is always in movies with the girl from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Christy.
Yeah. Like,
Good girl, Christy Swanson.
Christy
Yeah,
Swanson.
great girl.
Like they're always together. They're in like hundreds of movies that are like lately, and it's always like those two. Like have you like are you nervous sometimes that like as far as your acting career that like you're gonna work a lot of like liberal Hollywood's like I'm not gonna work with Scott Baio because of his conservative beliefs?
Adam, I don't care.
Okay.
I really don't care. There's nothing else for me to do in life and in work. That's not an egotistical thing. I mean, I've done pretty much everything. Even made 2 albums, and I can't sing.
What?
So yeah, I have 2 albums in '80 and '82 or something like that. Dean, look,
Well, okay, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I think I did know that, and I like forgot about it on purpose. But now I know. Yeah.
And now what kind
of
of music?
pop music.
Dude, he
back
was
in
it was
the
a record,
80s.
and his face is on it, and he had like a mullet, and like he was
black vinyl.
Dude.
It was
Could you
black.
give us a quick 16 bars?
No.
I thought he was gonna do it for a second. I was like,
I thought
saw the
about
wheels
it, but
turning.
I can't listen.
Scott, you're such a tease.
I got.
See, I would have struck. You strike me as a crooner. You're like a Harry
I'm
Connick
nothing.
Jr.
I'm none of those
No,
things.
you're a great actor. Though,
I'm not.
man.
No, he's talking about singing.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Singing,
No,
yeah.
but
I think you're nothing
no,
at all.
but no, I can't sing. I can't sing. And RCA came to me and said, "You want to make a record?" Went, here's some money. Sure, okay,
Yeah,
I'll
of
make I'll sing a couple of songs. And we went with this guy Michael Lloyd, great guy whom I just saw, great guy. And Michael tried to make me sound as good as he could. And
Did you sell any albums? People buy
I
them?
have no idea. I sold enough, or they wanted just to make another one. Or they wanted to see if I was really that bad, so they made me make another one.
Whatever.
I can't tell.
I mean,
tell
that's
what.
power. Not even
I've got
care
a
how
track.
many you
Which one it
sold.
was.
Hey, Christmas gift ideas for me.
Dude, I grew
Yeah.
up on Charles in
Okay.
Charge. That was like my favorite. That was one of my favorite shows. And then even when they put Buddy in charge.
Happy
Well, you-
Days.
well, you're
Happy
gonna-
Days was my show.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. But you're going to talk Christmas gifts? I was just going to tell him, and please back me up on this if you can. When his kid starts moving, it's over.
Oh
You
yeah.
cannot. Your life as you know it.
It sucks.
It's
it
done.
sucks.
You will not be able to sit
Bo's
down.
walking, right?
You won't
Oh,
be able.
yeah.
You won't,
No,
be, you won't
he's-
be able to sit on the toilet.
No.
Already, I have to have her in a chair in the toilet. No, now when I
Yeah.
take a shower, so she has a red chair. She sits. I give her a toy. She see me naked 5,000 times. I feel like
stop
I feel
that soon.
creepy,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then she's like pointing and laughing. I'm like, it's not. But then it's just. I then even when I
She
go
picked
to
that
the
up from Mom.
bathroom when I'm like taking a dump, she has to be in the room, and I feel like I'm abusing her by making her smell by poop. You know.
She said, "Wait, she'll start to Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm in the bathroom, honey. I need something. What do you need,
Oh,
sweetheart?
man.
I'm in the bathroom. Daddy, can I just talk? I'm in the bathroom, sweetheart. Can you go?" And then you start your volume starts raising. Then you start yelling. No, you don't come in here. I'm in the bathroom.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah,
And then-
Even the wife yells at you for yelling, right?
Yeah, but you'll see. You'll see.
Last night, so it was my birthday show last night. Which you showed up and then you left.
Don't even.
You brought a cake and then you got what happened? Your nanny was terrible or something?
No, I got this babysitter because Tori's in Vancouver starting to shoot Beverly Hills 90210. So I had this night planned. I was going to go do a set at the Dime. It was Adam's birthday. So I got this babysitter that I've used before. And long story short, I get this call just as I'm about to walk into the Dime for my daughter. No, for my wife, saying, yeah, Stella just called me. She's upset. The babysitter says she doesn't know how to put the baby down. I'm like, what? Like, she's done all this before. Anyway, mayhem ensued. And my wife is hysterical, and so I go and give him his happy birthday fuckface cake.
Yeah.
I got happy birthday fuckface.
But it was a great show.
I had to go.
Jeremy Piven went on, and Jay Moore, and all these people went on, and Mike Blackson. It was great. And my wife said to me, she's like, afterwards, because she never comes out anymore. She's always the baby.
And your wife, when I was leaving, she was pulling in. I'm like, oh.
She says to me, she goes, you know what, Adam, I look at you as like the guy who leaves his underwear in the bathroom and and the guy who leaves his laundry out. But I forget that you're like respected in your job. I'm like, thanks, babe. That's so nice. I can't believe how sweet that is. Like, what the fuck is that?
She loves you.
Yeah. She looks at me as the guy that leaves the
underwear.
Yeah. And then she said, she said,
cut that out.
She said that the comedy show was because I was in the DJ booth watching, and she's like, I feel like you're like the pirate of a sinking ship. I'm like,
you should have put her up.
yeah. I'm like, she's on
funny.
tonight. Like,
She's
Jesus.
funny, man.
Fucking crazy.
I love her.
So you got a problem coming soon.
What, really? Oh,
The baby starts moving.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what did you do when that happened?
Do you put the children on leash? How do we feel about
No.
leash
No,
children?
I don't know.
What you
It's
do is
something
what every
to
parent
bondage.
does. You have to just. Wait, no, don't, no, hang on, and wait, put him back over here, and they crawl back, and
Now
he's done it 6
and the worst-
times.
Now your kid's what, 11 now?
Shit, man, 6 times.
How old is she now? 10, 11?
11.
Does she like boys yet or no?
Boys are gross.
Oh, okay, that's
Still,
good.
huh?
Yeah.
Are you like confirming that? Like, yes, boys are gross. Don't become a lesbian or something. Are you with it? or
No, she's fine.
She's fine.
Not that there's anything wrong with
No,
that.
of course. Boys are gross.
No, I'm gonna want my baby to like not like boys for a while.
You're gonna
Yeah,
give her a
till she's
mullet
30.
for a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Give her a
was she
mullet.
ever like?
Give her a
like,
Sarah McLachlan CD.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Just show her your comedy.
Turn around to
Sarah
the Indigo
McLachlan.
Girls.
Is she the new Judy Garland, Sarah McLachlan?
New.
Yeah,
she's-
of course.
She's like 30
Really?
years old.
I don't know anything musically.
Yeah, of course. You watch Rush Limbaugh all day and go to sleep. Look,
That's right, pretty much.
Yes.
That's my day. I smoke a cigar.
You see, I've never met you before. You're extremely calm, cool, and collected.
He's the nicest. He's the
Yeah,
nicest
very,
guy.
very nice and very charming. So, are you strict as a parent? Like, what do you
My
do?
wife will tell you I'm not.
Okay.
And I let my kid get away with a lot, and my wife ends up being the disciplinarian, which pisses her off. And I
Like a good
understand
cop,
that.
bad cop situation.
No, but I don't even do it. Yeah, but I don't do it deliberately. She's my daughter, and I want to scold her and punish her, but it's hard. She's a little doll, and it's hard for me to do that. It's just hard. So my wife has to do it, and it's not fair to her, and I get it. But I am who I am. But am I calm? I'm relatively.
Now, how long would you let her sleep in the bed for?
Oh, she still goes back and forth.
Really?
But just
When-
like if
when-
she had like a bad dream or
When
something.
she comes
or
when she comes in the bed, I go to her bed and I sleep in her bed.
No.
yeah, because
I
it's
can't
it's
deal with that.
impossible. It's impossible to sleep with your kid
You guys change beds?
when
Yeah.
once
Oh,
like
you
Bo's
have no control.
Yeah,
Bo's
no.
2 years old, and if he sleeps in the bed, forget it. I got to get out of there. Because
They
they
take
eventually
over.
just turn sideways. They turn lengthwise.
And they sweat.
And they sweat, and they
Well,
yeah.
before I was changing a diaper, I was making her laugh, blowing on her stomach, like tickling her toes.
During the
Now-
Forbes interview.
No, yeah. Now she's crying, hysterical. Like, so I don't know what's wrong. or
It's just
she-
a phase because Bo went through that. And you're like going, dude, I'm just changing your clothes, and he
But I hate when she gets poop in her vagina, and I gotta.
You can't. Yeah, you can't do anything about poop in the puss.
What did you do?
You can't.
Why are you laughing
I
at
was
this?
because my first
There
child.
needs to be some kind of a vacuum that they fucking. You could just vacuum the shit out of the vagina.
Well, it's funny. My first child was a boy. Didn't have to deal with poop in the puss, and then Liam, first child with Tori, and then Stella came along, and then when I encountered poop in the puss, I was like, oh my, like it's like in there, like
you have to get it out, right?
You got to get it out, but it's like, okay, she's gonna get sick, like it's.
So, but you feel like I feel like I'm a pervert touching the, but I have to.
You have to.
What,
you have to.
Did you ever change? You changed diapers?
Oh yeah, I never had that situation.
She never took a.
Sounds
poop
like
in
a
wet-
hip hop track.
I never.
You
You know
never
what?
Come on.
I might have called my wife in. I don't remember.
Oh.
You know,
But does that stop when they start wearing underwear? Is that because they wear a diaper? Is that how it gets
diaper,
up
Yeah,
there?
and then sometimes like
And they'll roll around.
Sometimes you don't catch the poop right away, and they sit
But
on it, and it
she,
mushes it.
she poops and then she tries to put her fingers in it or her feet in it.
Yeah,
And
that
then I gotta
Well,
like.
you still do that, don't you?
Of course.
Oh,
You know, that's-
I
we have a
got-
meeting every Thursday. Me and my friends.
Oh,
We just-
dude, I got
that's our
something
thing.
for you. I found this thing online that you lay the baby on, and they have these two flaps that you button together that create a cone, and she can't put her hands
Really?
to get in
It's
the
like a
poop.
doggy
Yeah,
cone.
it is. It's like a dog cone, but it's made out of fabric.
So you're basically trying to fix Violet like
Yeah,
like a fixed dog.
Do they have one for Tori, too,
There's
or no?
nothing worse than a kid sticking their
It's
hand
the worst
in the poop
because
it
then
gets
you
under
gotta
their
get it.
fingernails.
Yeah, and then you gotta
and
get it
it's-
out.
oh, it's
They
gross.
start screaming like she's in pain, but I don't want shit in your nails.
Have you had a baby on a
Yeah.
plane yet?
Like, did I make
Like
one?
on an airplane.
Oh,
Your baby
yeah,
on-
yeah, of course.
Did your kid poop on the plane?
No, I haven't had my baby on a plane. That
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a baby.
Yeah,
on a
no,
plane.
I've-
Wait for that experience.
Yeah, that's fun.
What happened there? What did you
Try being 6'3", trying to change a baby
There you go.
in an airplane
Bathroom.
bathroom with the little
And
thing,
you're
and the baby doesn't fit this way.
I know.
So what did you do?
And you're the
I-
guy
I-
on the plane stinking up the plane.
So did you put her in like luggage? Is that where you?
Yeah, that's
Well,
where
you
you put
did
the
it?
baby.
No, I'd love to just, like, put her in there till we land.
No, man,
No,
you gotta
it-
figure it
See
out.
when we get to Turks and Caicos.
It
you ever
it
hook
was
up with
crazy
Dean's
'cause
wife
I
or no?
couldn't.
Oh, all right, go on. No, I'm just wondering.
My wife could change. I'm getting off this. My wife could change the diapers in the seat, in our seat.
What? Oh, you never wondered if you hooked up with your wife? No.
No,
Oh,
no, I didn't.
Do you ever meet guys that have hooked up with your wife or no?
Yeah,
Oh, is
yeah.
It,
It's. I
awkward?
mean, it's weird because I could go in. I could go online and see everybody that my wife dated. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
But if it was Scott, I would. Oh, that's fine. He's a good guy.
Scott's lovely.
Yeah,
He's
you
a lovely man.
You get
Thank
mad,
you.
you get mad at her for not
Paris.
hooking up with them.
Yeah.
Well,
Staten
Actually, I'm
Island
gonna call her after the show. I said,
You
why
weren't
didn't
good
you
enough
ever
for
hook
Scott
up
back-
with Scott? Come
Oh,
on.
yeah, that's true. Scott, the reboot of 90210.
I was just thinking that on the way over.
Poor
You'd
kid
be.
Luke
Would you ever
Perry.
do?
No, you.
90210.
Yeah, they're remaking
They're
it.
remaking
You'd be
90210.
great
I
for
know.
that.
How am I going to do one? I wasn't on it.
I know, but just as a guest, it'd be great.
Oh, they're doing it scripted?
Yeah.
I heard it was like not scripted.
No, it's scripted.
No,
on
it's
Fox.
it's scripted, and it's sort of it's a heightened version of. It's not a reboot pickup where we're catching up with the characters as they've aged. They're just picking up from, hey, we're gonna get everybody together to do this reboot, and it's a comedy and it's a heightened version.
Is it 1 hour?
Yeah.
And who's doing it? What network?
Fox?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You'd be great on that.
it'd be great. Yeah, I was thinking that on the way over. I was like, yeah, we should.
Let's
do
get
this.
Tori
You'd be
on the
like one of the
horn.
one of the
Pitch-
single dads.
Pitch
That the,
Scott, yeah.
You'd be one of the,
Yeah, listen,
Oh.
we were trying to do a Charles in Charge thing until somebody put the kill on it.
Really?
Somebody accusing me of something, put the kill on
Oh,
it.
no.
Right? Genius. Good move.
Jesus.
Smart.
Jesus, because that's where everybody's, the doing reboots is coming back.
Yeah.
Now,
That's great. Good for her. I'm glad for her.
now I read that they fired
But
the
you'd be
showrunner.
great for one of the. Let's see. There's Jenny's husband and there's Gabrielle's husband.
Hmm?
I'll be at the cigar store or the whatever you need.
He'll be making granola
No,
until you
no.
decide to
By
call.
By the way,
Oh.
I heard they fired the showrunner. Is that all bullshit?
No, nobody got fired. No.
Okay.
And they're
No.
shooting in Vancouver?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to go there. They have to shoot in Sherman Oaks.
The thing is, that they're hoping. Yeah, they have to shoot in Scott's house. They're hoping that the show's a success and they'll bring it back to Beverly Hills.
Now I would imagine that you got offered a ton of stuff after Charles in Charge and Happy Days, and what stuff have you turned down that you're like, why did I turn that down?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't even. I just went from one thing to another, man. So I was lucky. I never thought about what I did, what I didn't do.
There wasn't like Top Gun or something, or like
Somebody said that once.
Charlie's
I said that
Angels?
as a joke.
oh
I said something.
I
What
can see-
are
I
you
just-
regretting? I said, yeah, I should have done Top Gun. And then it went on the internet. And the guy said, Top Gun? I said, no, it was a joke.
I could see you in Tom Cruise
You moron.
in Top Gun.
But it was for the Kelly McGillis part.
It was Dean, 2 for 2.
I'm
Holy
telling you, he's
shit,
funny.
man.
He's funny.
Damn it. I gotta get hip here.
I got a funny story. First time I ever met Scott, I just moved to L.A. I was on Ben Avenue,
Yeah, by across from Calabro.
right across from Thomas Calabro. So Thomas Calabro and I,
Who was on Melrose
Melrose
Place.
Place, we became friends. And Thomas was
Is
starting.
he on the new Melrose Place? Is he on the new Melrose Place?
I don't know. I never watched.
They're bringing it back?
Oh, what did you say? Oh, 90210. Sorry, shit.
No, yeah, they didn't do a Melrose.
good.
What was it? I'm thinking Dynasty.
Okay.
Dynasty. So I'm over at Calabro's house, and he's just started to get into yoga. Now he's like a total like yogi, right? So
I love that guy.
Thomas is like, oh yeah, just so you know, we're in his office, we're doing yoga, and he's like, just so you know, my friend Scott's coming by. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, you know, Scott Baio. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Scott Baio, that'd be cool, man. That's your friend. So we're doing the yoga stuff, and Scott comes by just as we're doing this pose where we're both ass up to the door. So we're both got our ass to the door, and I could see between my legs. And Scott went, "Hey Thomas, oh okay, yeah. You guys finish up here. I'll be back."
He was telling me that some kind of farm animals got sent to your party by accident. It was the wrong animals.
When you lived up Woodland Hills, you for your party a couple of years ago, you had farm animals coming, and your neighbor up the block had farm animals coming, and they went to the wrong house.
You got the wrong farm animals?
And we were supposed to get llamas, and you got they were supposed to get llamas, and you got the llamas, or something like that.
What a mix-up.
Somebody called Tori and said,
And then you got
we have
strippers
llamas,
instead.
but we got the wrong animals.
What the hell was it?
It was somebody's birthday party in the summertime.
Well, we had a.
What did you order?
We had a unicorn. We had a horse.
Maybe that's what it was. I think whatever it was.
Because it showed up late, so that would make sense. But I never heard that story.
It was
so
a mix-up with your animals and their animals.
that's funny. So yeah, we got a unicorn for Stella. Because we got this white horse, and we.
So
The first time I saw Scott
it.
was on a VH1 show. It was like, where are they now? And you were talking about, yeah, I was the biggest star in the world, but I don't know, people thought I was kind of, he's like, I was kind of a douche, but you had like blonde frosted tips.
Oh, it was a movie I did.
Yeah, and I was like, man, maybe you shouldn't be saying I'm kind of a people thought I was a douche when you have
frosted
the
tips.
frosted tips. but
I
then
never called myself that.
it was something funny.
What was wrong
You're like
with
my
you?
head.
Fake news.
You're like my head was so big, or I forgot.
Oh,
You were
sure.
being very humble, very like.
My
you're
head
like,
was very big. and
yeah, yeah.
blonde.
But how could it not be big? I mean, the whole
agree.
world was like, kissing your ass. It's hard not to be big at that point. And then back then there was no TMZ, or
That's right.
people to.
Or
Oh
cell
my God,
phones.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a game changer. Cell phones and TMZs of the world.
dang it.
It's just, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, you catch a lot of shit.
Oh.
You catch a lot.
Tori catches the most. I've never seen anybody constantly get berated and brought up in the magazines and the internet shows.
Does it
and
ever really get
bullshit.
to her or no?
I mean, it has to some
It
extent.
has to at some point because it's so regular. You know, there are people in the world who have in this business have done far worse things than Tori Spelling. Tori hasn't done anything wrong, and they just beat the shit out of her. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's ridiculous. It's weird.
It is.
It's weird. So now that thing you mentioned before, it went away, right? Like it's gone.
It's done with, but you can say anything you want on the friggin' internet, man. Say anything you want. It's
True.
just
It could pick up legs even if it's not true.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah,
just-
the
just
people
bullshit.
rehashing it. That's what kills. That's what I was talking about. It's
It's
just like
just-
that story was like 6 months ago, and you're rehashing it again.
yeah. You could say anything you want, and then you're not presumed innocent anymore. You're presumed guilty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you're also retweeting her that what she's writing, and then aren't you giving it legs in some ways?
Yeah, but I got to defend myself. I
Yeah.
can't just have people saying shit
Yeah,
about
like
me
a
and
lot
not,
of-
and not
A
let
lot
it
of
slide.
publicists will say, "Shut up, just shut up, shut
No,
up."
and
let
I
it go
thought
away."
about that.
And after a certain point, because certainly that's what I did that for years, and it wasn't until I finally stood up and said, "Fuck this, I'm fighting back," that it actually started to go away and people
Yeah.
would back off. Are you
Yeah, but
finding that?
Do you guys think
Yeah.
censorship on social media is the answer?
Censorship? I
don't
think
know.
certain kinds of. Well, here, okay, I'll give you my take on. It's kind of, it's not censorship, but it's my. If you're gonna say something about Tori or Dean, slanderous, if you're gonna say something about anybody, and if you have a kid, well, let me rephrase this. If you want to accuse somebody of something, right, and the first thing you do is go to social media or any media, that it should be just completely thrown out. Because then you're just doing it for one reason. If you go to the cops, that's your first move, which is what you're supposed to do, and it somehow leaks out, and you talk about it, it's thrown out. Because you can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
It's impossible. You say something like what they said about me, which was horrible, and all of a sudden all these pieces of shit come out of the woodwork. Mm-hmm. They hate me because I'm a conservative to begin with, and then you pile this on, right? So censorship. I mean,
did a lot of people defend you though? Like
a lot of people defended me, but it ain't easy. But you can't. If you're gonna censor evenly.
Right.
Don't censor one side.
Yeah.
So that's
and you've always been a conservative. Like you were a Reagan, right? Weren't you a big Reagan fan?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, you've your entire life, your family's conservative. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're just jumping on their.
Yeah, it's mine too. Like, so Staten Island.
But
I think there should be.
Are we done?
No, pizza came.
The
pizza's
here, Scott.
Oh shit! I think you forgot it.
Surprise.
No way. Who ordered pizza?
I did.
I said, I'm starving. Give me pizza or something. Anyway, Dean, finish.
This is
finish
the first. No, I think as far as if you want to say something about somebody, kids are off limits. I think if you should say something about they should be of age of consent, 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because
but even then, if they have nothing to do with it, they have nothing to do with the situation, then leave them alone.
Leave them alone. But that'll never change, right?
No, I know.
If Adam, thank you. Adam and Nicky are associated with me through our stand-up and through the show, and
I started getting death threats.
And
but I'm
now
brave.
he's starting to get
the
death
problem is
threats,
that no one
and
ever apologizes.
We can't go back to the glory hole anymore.
And the thing is, they're all cherry cokes. The thing is, nobody ever apologizes. Like Scott, all these people come out to the woodwork. Scott Baio this, Scott Baio that. They don't know anything. They don't know what happened. They know it's a he said, she said thing. Right. She came on your show like years later. You guys were friends. You went on a part on your other show. Whatever. They say these things. It goes to a court or whatever. They throw it out. These people never come back and say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." Yeah. Has one person ever apologized?
No.
So that's
not one.
Look at Tori and Dean, for Christ's sake. I mean, the things you read about them, my God, you'd want to take them out and hang them both, right? But that's not who they are.
Please.
Seriously.
I have 6 children, please.
Anyway, it's just.
I hear the pitchforks
it's
outside.
Just social media is so out of control, and I think that the internet is a great thing, but I also think it could be.
So where did you tell your daughter?
I don't tell her anything. She doesn't. She knows somebody's lying about Daddy.
Okay.
And somebody's saying bad things about Daddy. That's all she knows. It's not worth.
Has she heard anything at school?
No.
Because our kids, my daughter's a year younger than yours, and they've heard my 10-year-old and 12-year-old have heard some things at school, and that's coming from parents.
About your family.
About us.
Yeah,
about Tori and
about
I.
Scott Baio.
About Scott Baio. Like,
that's the talk of their school. Is me.
I don't know if you know
Fourth grade
Scott
right
Baio.
now is
You're a hot topic.
Yeah, this kid just came
You
up to
and
me in the second
Fortnite.
grade and said, wah, wah, wah.
No, I'm not going to eat on can.
So and what did you do?
Well, no, that's why I just wanted to know if it's gotten to that point yet, because some of the parents read the mags and stuff like that, or they leave them around, and some kids pick up on stuff. Even if they can't read, they can kind of see, the pictures of their parents, and it's ripped apart, and like, what does that mean? Why is that picture of you and mommy ripped? But Liam, who's 12, came across something, and he pulled me aside and he said, "Dad, am I obese?"
What?
And I'm like,
what?
I had to take, because of this. Tori did this Entenmann's post, the little Entenmann's mini bites.
Yeah,
and
I love Entenmann's.
Yeah, who doesn't? So she did this post, and they're trying to change. They got rid of the high fructose, and they're using real fruit in the snack now. And so she did this post about having a snack with the family, and all the moms got up in arms. You feed your kids this, that, that. No wonder they're obese. No wonder. And like, whoa. So Liam saw this. He saw it on my phone. And he took me aside and he said, "Dad, am I obese?" And I said, "Dude, no, you are not
And you
obese."
pointed to Rosie O'Donnell and said, "That's."
And I said, that is when you eat too much Entenmann's, and you wash it down with beer. No, so I took my side and I said, look, you know what? People are gonna say horrible things. We're in the spotlight, Mom and Dad. People know who you are, and people are gonna say nasty things. So you can fire back at them, or you can stop and think and send them some love. Because think of how horrible their life must be if they're going to take the time to go on Mom's account, look at it, and write something horrible about somebody they don't know.
Yeah, of course.
How messed up is their life? How sad are they? They probably live in their mom's basement. They probably have no friends. So I said, we can get mad about this, or we can take the high road, send them some love, because they're hurting.
Yeah,
They're hurting.
I think it's
But
hard enough
you,
as a
son,
kid too. You're
I
worried
said-
about going to school and getting
Zach.
judged, let alone by people you
And-
know.
But you know
Forget
what?
about people you don't even know.
And I could.
what
Liam's
you're
12. Liam's 12, going on 30. So he really got it. And I said, look at your brother Jack. Your brother Jack is 6'4", and he's like 170. He's like beautiful, tall, and thin. And he went through a phase where he wasn't. I said, remember your brother Jack when he went away to Canada? He came back 2 months later and he grew a foot.
Wow.
I said, it's in your DNA. Look at Dad. You're not obese. You're gonna sprout up, and you're big and beautiful. You're fantastic. Just never mind these haters.
Right.
It's discouraging when you see what's out there in the world.
Oh, but you know what? I went in the room and I wanted to put my fist through the fucking wall. When your little baby comes up to you, he's a baby. He's 12. Am I obese? I'm like, oh.
Excuse me, this is my orthodontist. Hello.
We take the show very
Good, Dr.
seriously.
Sack, how you doing?
We do. Let's have some pizza while Scott's on the phone with his orthodontist.
Listen, we need
Doing
Scott's
great.
teeth looking pearly
Doing
fresh, and
great.
they
I
do, by
love
the way.
it.
Look how fresh they look.
No
I thought it was
problems at
bigger,
all.
this pizza.
So if I have any,
It's all good.
Hey, would your orthodontist give us a deal if we put him on the podcast?
So-
Yeah.
I'm looking
I
to get
appreciate
veneers,
that.
so
My
put in a
kept
good
telling-
word.
My dentist kept telling me racist jokes.
Did he?
Yeah, and finally I was like, enough with the racist jokes. Every week I come here and you tell me these horrible, and then like his assistant started clapping. Like I flipped out because it was I had
No
enough.
way.
Really?
I had
Like,
enough.
how bad?
He was just like, the two Schwarzes. I was like, I don't want to hear your jokes to the dentist. I was like, enough. I flipped on him.
Really?
It's because he was billing me up the wazoo, and I just was like, he told me it was one thing, it was another, and I hated his jokes. I was like, I hate the
Wow.
dentist. And,
Yeah, no, I have to get a retainer.
Oh, you grind?
No, I have a tooth that's moving for whatever reason, just moving on its own.
Wow.
At night, you just have to wear it when you sleep?
No, pretty much all day, but I took it off because I just got it today. So I'm at the age now where it's starting to go the other way, right? So I have to get a retainer, which is what I had when I was 10. So now after this, I'll probably be shitting and peeing in my pants accidentally.
You're going to have to get the shit out of your vagina,
and,
Scott.
and then I'll be back in a
Scott's
diaper.
gonna get
You're not
poop
gonna
in
be able
the
to sleep in your
pussy.
I'll
daughter's
be
bed
back in a
anymore.
diaper and I'm done. Right?
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
full
it.
circle.
And then I'm full circle and it's over.
Now,
The
now-
circle of
But
life.
think of how great that'll be.
Now, Scott, sometimes
It's easy.
You got an excuse not to take your daughter to school anymore.
Yeah.
You just stay in bed. I can't. I
Nah,
might.
You
I
eat
might,
your granola and a diaper.
I might soil
Oh,
myself.
so
Yeah.
horrible.
Now, Scott, sometimes like I used to be a shot boy. I used to work at
A shop?
80s club. Shot boy. I used to sell shots to girls.
Shots.
Shot, yeah. I walk around. I had a pink headband. It was this whole thing.
Something we learned.
Sometimes
on
my-
the
I
show.
sometimes
want
my-
pictures. I
Sometimes
want
my wife
pictures.
will be like, "Hey, shot boy, come in the bedroom or something," or like, "Hey, sexy." Like she likes me to throw back to like my sexier times. Now,
Yeah, I've heard that about her.
now
But-
is
but
your
go on.
now is Renee the same way with you? Like, hey, come here, like show
No.
me. No,
Yeah. Put on those faded jeans and the bandana
No,
around your leg.
No.
like
yeah.
like sing
Where
to
did-
me.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
was
one of those. I don't even know. I would tell you if I knew. I don't know.
I was thinking about it. It was like wardrobe. It's like, hey, tie this bandana
don't-
around
I-
your thigh, or you're like, hey, I think
It was
this
just
would be
there
cool.
one day.
Really?
I just don't know where it came from. I really don't. I don't know where Wah 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 came
I was
from.
going to say, where was that scripted? or was that-
I don't know. And I asked them, where did that come from? And they said, you were talking to us one day, and you said, what? And I said, what? I probably said, well, what? Like what? And I said, well, okay. Wherever you got it from is fine with me. I don't.
Wah,
I'm just-
wah,
Now,
Wow.
when did the
Just
when
cut
did
the
the
check, man.
transformation happen though? Because everyone knows Scott
Close
Baio,
the pizza so
coolest
Scott's
guy in the
pizza doesn't
world.
get cold.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have any?
Of course.
supermodel Scott Baio, this and that, and your wife is gorgeous. But then now there's like Republican Scott Baio. Like when did you always that guy, but just in different situations, or was it like a gradual change?
What do you mean? Was
Like
I
back when
always
you were
what guy?
parties and clubbing and Scott Baio, and you were like this party guy, and you got all the.
No, I honestly wasn't a party guy. I understand what you're saying. I would go out at a club, but I wasn't a party guy.
Right.
But I don't know what you're asking me.
Like I'm saying, like when did the transformation happen
Are we done?
to become an adult? Like
To become an adult?
yeah. Like,
What time is it? Jesus. Okay, I'll answer your question. It's very simple. I became an adult when my daughter was born. Up until then, I was Peter Pan.
yeah.
Really?
Yep. Nothing to worry about, and had a great life. A nice house, nice cars. Peter Pan. Nothing.
What was your biggest splurge? What was the
Oh,
height of it? What
nothing,
did you just go out and
nothing.
like kind of fuck off money?
No, Dean, I never did that. My father, God rest his soul, was a money guy, right? So his mantra, save your money. From day one, save your money. Save it. He says,
Italian.
buy what you need, and once in a while, get what you want. That's how you get rich. And I was a car guy, and he was a car dealer for many years. So cars were our thing. And the first splurge I had was a 1980 450 SL.
Nice.
I paid $32,000 for it, and it was all the money in the world. Oh shit!
Right.
And I bought that car, and then, that's probably in terms of what I would do with houses and stuff.
Right.
But that's
But those are
stuff
good
to live in.
investment.
Yeah,
Real
but
estate's a good
I was
investment.
not. I was never that
Sean
guy.
Hannity books and stuff.
I was Sean Hannity books, but I was never that guy. I was never. If you want to get rich, you got to live a little bit poor,
yeah.
and that.
It's true. It's very true. That's true.
Tori, if you're listening,
That's true. That's true. So you never smoked weed
No,
in your life?
I tried marijuana when I was 45 years old, because my parents were going. My mother was very sick. I could not sleep, and somebody recommended it to me, and I tried. I said, you know what? This is not
not
me.
for you.
This
Never
is not, this is
cocaine,
not,
ecstasy,
never.
Molly?
No, nothing. Zero.
Do you want to?
no.
Because
No.
Adam's got some.
Yeah.
No,
The
no.
show's almost over.
But you
Turning
know
this
what?
into a rave.
Well, you know what? I
Just
don't.
give it a
I don't
couple
drink.
minutes.
I could never really drink. I don't have the tolerance for it. So
Me too.
I'd go out at night when I was young. I'd have a shot of scotch and a beer, and I was done. And that was
Wow.
my night. And then I had pound water the rest of the night because I would be hungover if I didn't. So I was not a party. I was not a nut.
And then also all those lines to learn. So you weren't like was that easy for you or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard for me.
No, it's easy.
But you had like.
But
I
I've
mean,
been doing it my whole life, Adam. It's easy.
What was your first gig, and how old were you?
First, like paying gig.
Yeah.
I did a. God, I was 9. I did a first camera thing. I did some print stuff. I did a commercial for Eastern Airlines. Eastern Airlines, the
Oh
Wings
my
of
God.
Man.
Yeah, yeah.
And they flew me and my dad to Jamaica,
Wow.
and stayed in Jamaica for a week and shot a commercial.
Nice.
wow.
And it was great. And it was, who played my dad in the commercial was, remember the husband on the Rhoda,
Yeah.
David Groh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Him.
He played you that.
He
That's
played my dad.
awesome.
And then Happy Days came like soon.
And then I did commercials and stuff, but I didn't work all that much because I was too ethnic looking. They wanted Irish kids back then, Campbell's Soup kids. And then I did a movie called Bugsy Malone,
Oh yeah.
I remember Bugsy Malone.
and then that was pretty much what
And Happy
got me.
Then Charles in Charge.
Happy
did
Days, and
something
Joni
with
Loves
Bugsy
Charge, and
Malone.
Charles in
Charge.
Charge, and then
It's
blah,
cool.
blah, blah.
What?
It just the Bugsy Malone just jarred a memory. I did something in school with Bugsy Malone. I think we did like some scenes from it in school, but I can't remember because my mind is shot. My memory is shot.
And then I remember all those shows like Scott Baio's 40 and Single.
That was fun.
Scott Baio's Married. Scott Baio's.
That was a lot of
I
Wife's
watched
Mad at
40 and Single.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's right around the time I met you.
You went out with
right?
all your exes.
Calabro.
No, I met you. I met you in probably 2000.
No, because I wasn't here till 2004.
Is tattooed on you?
No, when I met Tori, it was 2005.
And then I liked your
Oh,
show.
wait a minute. I was working with Calabro.
You guys were writing together.
Yeah, and you
This
you were
was
across the-
remember
maybe
they
2003,
they
2004.
they wanted you to do Dancing with the very first Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like that one show you did, One Last Chance.
Oh yeah, and you can dance too, right? You're a
No,
good
I
dancer.
cannot.
Somebody,
Dude,
I
I can't-
heard something.
Dean-
Oh no, Calabro's a good dancer. That's what it was.
Brother, I can play any sport well. I cannot move to music.
It was Calabro. They said
I'm like
he was,
a
he was the
2x4.
dancer.
But then that one show you did where you gave everyone one more chance, that was a good show. You had all those like 90s and 80s stars, and you told them they were going to give them like one chance.
Oh God!
And then you were like-
yeah, that started out as one thing, and it became something.
It was the
completely
meanest show
different.
ever. They took all
don't
these
remember.
guys
It was,
that were like
it was,
huge,
it was the Confessions of a Teen Idol. It was a show that we produced, and I was the host of it.
and they told all these teen idols, hey, so then what they do is they take them to this like arena, and they're all backstage, and they had this like fake canned laughter, like everyone's here to see you, and then they come out and there's no one except for him, and
You
then
know,
he's like, fame's a bitch, guys, and like it was like the
And you know
meanest
what?
thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've gotta
I
see
felt so
this.
bad about that. I really did. I felt, because the way that show started and the way it ended up was two different things, and it just because I wanted to get, it was a lot of really cool actors. Billy Huffsey, you know Billy Huffsey?
Yeah.
He was on Fame. Great guy, Billy. And some other, Eric Neese, who was on The Real World, and all these guys that had these who were really famous. And I just wanted them to get in a circle and talk.
Yeah.
And talk about their experiences. And it became this, I don't know what it became, some friggin' game show where you had to win a dog if you take your shirt off. It's like, what the fuck?
And then one guy started crying and like had the
the
mental
hell,
breakdown
man?
on the show and like
It was just
left the house. and-
whatever.
It's like this show.
Yeah. But I liked it. I watched it. I was rooting for the guys.
Thank you. I just felt so bad, and I apologize to those guys if they were offended. But Chris Atkins and I became pretty good friends.
Yeah.
But whatever, shit.
Chris Atkins, Blue Lagoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. I met his daughter in Hawaii.
Oh,
His daughter was like, maybe
she worked on See That Run. I can't remember her name.
yeah, it's a pretty girl. So did Raimi, who's killing it right now.
Who?
Rami Youssef.
Oh, Rami. Yeah,
Rami,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He's
yeah.
got his own show
He's got
on
his own
something or
show.
other. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has me to thank for it, little shit.
He does.
I made him what he is today.
You know how to pick him.
Son of a bitch.
You know how to pick
I'll
them.
find his ass.
So what do you got coming up, Scott?
Right after this?
No, you have a you have like a new podcast.
He's going back
right?
to bed.
Outside the retainer.
No, when I leave, by the time I get home tonight, it'll be bedtime.
No, you don't have your own podcast.
I'm starting my own podcast. Yes,
That's awesome.
I never knew. Look, I am the most uncomputered guy you'll ever. I don't know anything
Uncomputered, huh?
about it. That's the only word I have for it. I don't know anything about it. I can email and look up shit. That's it. If you ask me to get into, I'm over. So
Now, obviously, you're going to record it at your home.
yeah,
'Cause you can't- yeah.
most of it.
Yeah.
From your bedroom.
No, and I'm in my robe. I'll go home now. Whenever I'm home, I'm in my robe and pajamas.
Nice.
So I'll go home with my robe on, and I'm in my robe and pajamas till I have to leave the house. So most of it will be in
Got
my
a
robe
huge
and
house,
pajamas.
huge beautiful
That's
house. Christmas-
But anyway,
Christmas trees
We
everywhere.
almost got a place in there, actually.
Yes, somebody told us you were looking in there.
Yeah.
Good area.
Great area.
So anyway, I didn't know what to do about it, and somebody do a podcast, and a guy came up to me, a nice guy. He said, "Would you want to do a podcast?" I went,
But you used to fill in for Dennis Miller all the time on
That was
radio.
fun. Yeah, that was fun. I said, "Sure." You know, I don't know what to do.
Is it gonna be
Awesome.
political? Is it gonna be?
It's gonna be everything. You know,
What's it called?
What are you gonna, yeah.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
We're just starting to shoot stuff now to load up and
Game of Robes
get.
with Scott Baio.
I like. That's not bad, actually.
It's a gift.
Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
I never watched an episode.
Me either.
Never, not a single
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah.
Not
I
a
don't
single
watch
one.
it.
Wow.
I just
Really?
I don't watch
Nobody?
it, No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I can't. I watched one. I was on Ambien and I fell asleep.
I have a life.
Holy
Yeah, no,
crap.
I couldn't.
What do you watch?
I watched Cobra Kai. It's the best show on television.
What do you watch?
Porn.
He's not kidding. He's not,
No.
Lots of porn.
But what do you watch?
In the winter, ice hockey, and then in the summer, it's boxing and MotoGP.
But you have no show that you watch.
I like How to Get Away with Murder.
Not really.
Okay.
Not
What is
really.
that? Is that a real
It's
show?
a drama.
Oh, yes,
about
I know
the
it.
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
What do you watch?
Billions.
Oh yeah, I heard that's good.
Love Billions.
Oh, my friend Lisa Ann was just on Billions.
I've seen a couple.
My God.
It's good. It's
Dig it.
good.
Anyway, that's my thing. I can't wait for it. Oh, I watch American Pickers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They go through
They go
barns
look
and
for
stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
I like that kind of stuff.
So what do you got coming up?
So much stuff. I just blanked out. I'm opening for Suzanne Westenhofer in Oregon, June 7th. I'm
Suzanne
performing.
Westenhofer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know her? She's
I
fabulous.
don't. I just like the name.
Yeah, it's a great name. She's fabulous. And I'm performing at RuPaul's DragCon this weekend. It's the
Nice.
first stand-up showcase ever.
It's this weekend.
Scott will be there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we got to go. Are you in town this weekend?
Yeah.
You're not on the road. Okay,
It's
we
the
have to
first
go.
stand-up show they're ever doing at.
Is it during the day or at night?
Yeah, 2:00. So the tickets are like $300 though, but I could put you on. I could put you on my guest list.
Could you?
Nice.
'Cause,
Yeah.
How old are you?
tell him we know
26.
Scott Baio.
Yeah, I am.
He's 26.
He's a baby.
I got
What-
pants older than this. I really do.
Do you really?
Absolutely, man. I don't.
Are they ripped with a thing around them?
Yes, they have the bandana around it. Adam. We used that joke earlier, for Christ's sake.
Like a callback. I don't know. What do you got?
I've got I've got Slasher premiering on Thursday
On
Cool.
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What's it about?
it's about it takes place in one day. It's called Slasher Solstice, and it's people living in this apartment building, and a serial killer starts doing duplicate murders from the past. And
Are you the killer?
no, I am not the killer,
How
or
do you
am
die? How do you die? Oh, never mind.
Do I
okay.
live or die? I don't know. You have to find out. You have to find out who
Tune
the
in on
druid
Netflix.
is.
It's on
Streaming
Netflix?
on
The killer,
Thursday.
yeah, the killer is a druid. So you have to find out who the druid is.
Ooh.
Got it.
What the hell's a druid?
Exactly. You have to watch and
I have
find
no
out.
idea.
TBD.
And then I'll be at the Dime Tuesday nights with these knuckleheads
Yes.
Doing what?
doing
Stand
stand up.
up.
Oh, you do stand up?
Yeah, I just started. Adam's my.
You should do stand
I
up.
tried to get him to do
I was
stand-up.
gonna say you're a funny dude, man.
I don't wanna do
You
stand-up.
should do some stand up. You conquered the congressional speech.
Oh,
you
shit,
can
man.
you can handle the Dime.
I hosted many years ago a night at the Improv,
How'd it go?
and you know who I introduced?
Who?
Oh shit.
Do you know who you introduced?
God Almighty, the blonde guy.
The blonde guy.
Drew Carey?
No, he's Adam Sandler's friend. Jesus.
David Spade.
David Spade.
Ah,
He was a
wow.
comic on. That's how long ago it was.
And
Wow.
How did it go?
I was scared. Shit.
Why did they have you? I mean,
I was the host.
They just said, "Hey, you want to host it?"
Yeah, they had hosts back then. They would have
guest hosts, celebrity
right,
hosts.
celebrity hosts. And I
That's
did it.
great.
And I said I don't want to be up here anymore.
That's
I don't.
Come to the Dime. It's completely different
Where is that?
experience.
On
It's
Fairfax.
on Fairfax.
Yes.
Fairfax,
Nothing
south
like
of
it.
Santa Monica.
Fairfax and Sam. So what time? What time do you get home at night when you do your stuff?
Yeah, that's way past my bedtime.
But he
When
actually
I play,
lies about
when
to
I
his family.
when I
He
play
lies to
hockey,
his family.
Yeah, he tells them he's going
Okay,
out.
No,
here's
he's doing
the-
stand up
Tells,
yet.
he tells them he's playing hockey and comes to do comedy.
I didn't. Tori
For
doesn't.
real?
Tori doesn't know that comedy is my mistress. I've been sneaking out Tuesday nights under the guys playing ice hockey to go and do stand up because I want to get my act to a point where it's polished and good, so I can go to a bigger club and then surprise her, take her out for an evening. Say, hey, let's go see
Oh
some
wow,
comedy.
that's a good idea.
And then coming
You're
to the stage
romantic,
next, Dean
Holy
McDermott.
shit.
Can you imagine that moment when
But-
she hears your name? She's
My
gonna
wife
shit a
said,
brick.
"Worst
But
surprise
after
ever."
after last night, it's all out. I told her.
I
said,
told my wife. She said that's the worst surprise ever.
Is really?
That's what she said.
I don't know.
She's
I
like,
think Tori
You
will
better
like
be
it.
good.
I think I'm
man.
gonna have to talk to
You
your
better
wife.
be good because you'll be eviscerated in the press. You'll be destroyed.
Oh, that's what I'm waiting for. Some knucklehead to one
Oh
night.
my god.
But he's really good. He's great material too. Great jokes.
Is he?
Yeah.
is good.
Nice. You're a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me question for you guys.
Sure.
Can I ask you a guy question?
8 inches.
Okay. Are you a romantic guy?
I try, but I failed miserably.
What does trying mean?
I'm like I do my best, but
What
I'm
does
not,
that mean? What do you do?
I take her to like UFC fights and stuff.
That's your idea of
No,
romance.
seriously. What do you?
Right.
No,
No,
tell
Hey,
me
but
like
he
a
no.
takes,
dog.
hey, he takes you to Red
Are you-
Lobster
I'll
first.
bring home.
Oh,
I'll bring home
okay.
flowers sometimes, and
You bring home flowers.
We'll go
okay.
hiking or go to the park.
No, hiking.
Like-
What the hell's wrong with
Are
you?
you- how long have you been a lesbian for? Hiking.
Hiking? But what do you do that's romantic?
Adam.
What do I do? Romantic?
You don't have to get red in the face about it. Listen, man to man.
I'll
what
like
do you-
watch the kids sometimes. I mean, I don't really do much that's romantic.
Watch this. You're a romantic guy, aren't you? Yeah. See? What do you do for your wife?
I cook for my wife.
See?
She loves that. She
It's
loves when I
because
cook.
they can't afford to go out.
Hey, what I can do with Kraft mac and cheese, man.
Are you a
You'd be
romantic
surprised.
guy?
No.
You're not a romantic
You're not
guy.
romantic, Nicky?
I'm very cold.
Are you romantic?
I am not.
Yeah, I'm not.
It
either.
drives my wife crazy. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to access that part of me.
Yeah, me too.
I just, I feel awkward. I feel, like
Okay,
today I cut her
it-
some flowers and I gave them to her and all that. But I just go ahead, it's flowers.
He throws them at her. Here. This is for
watch
you.
the thorns.
I got my wife flowers because he told me to pick up flowers for Tori, and I'm like, oh okay. She's like, why'd you bring home flowers? I'm like, oh, because Dean got flowers for Tori. I didn't want to be like the guy who didn't get flowers for his wife, and then she was like, she got mad at me.
You shouldn't have said that. You would have been.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't
would've
have
been
said
so
that.
fine.
I was being honest.
You would have been so fine.
Because I was getting flowers for somebody else. I figured while I was here, I might as well get you.
I know, and,
Well,
then,
look,
and then
okay.
I got roses for her, so I got her like the worst dandelions. She's like, "Why'd you get dandelion?" I'm like, "Cause I don't want to hack Dean's fucking roses."
Listen, if you don't have any romantic game, jewelry is always good.
Yeah.
Jewelry's a B. I understand that, but you know,
What kind of jewelry do you got for Renee?
very expensive jewelry.
Really? Like handcuffs?
Diamond-studded
No,
handcuffs.
she has the things that she likes, and I try to.
She's
but I-
easy going.
but
She's
I-
from
you
like
know,
the farm in
No,
Tennessee,
no,
though.
don't
like,
call. She'll kick your ass
Oh,
if you say she's from a farm. I said, I.
Isn't she from the farm?
No, there's a difference. Okay, so we were in Vegas.
barn.
A couple. No.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you messing with the wrong girl.
Sorry.
She's gonna call you after. You
Okay.
edit this, or you just run this as it is?
Run
No.
it as it is. What
You run
this
it
one
as
we
it is?
are.
Okay, she's gonna call you. So we were out. We were in
Send me a
Vegas
knife.
with another family a couple of years ago, and she had this bandana. She looked adorable,
Yeah, she-
right? And I said, "Man, honey, you look like a farm girl."
Ooh.
And she went ape shit. And I went, "Whoa! I no. What do you?"
Farm girls are
no.
hot,
She
though.
said,
Yeah.
she said I'm a country girl.
Oh.
I wouldn't like farm girl either.
And
Aren't farms in the
and
country?
you know, and I, Adam is a difference,
yeah, there is.
right? Is it there? And I said
The
to her,
country
"Sweetheart,
girl
I was
spelled
just,
with
I
an
said,
O?
I was just giving. I said I was just giving you a compliment. I'm from Brooklyn. You're out there. It's a farm to me.
Yeah,
I don't know anything
right.
else. I don't know a country girl farm. You look like a
Yeah.
farm girl to me. So there's certain things I can.
Did she hit you with a bunch of moonshine?
No.
afterwards, or-
Her brother makes moonshine.
Really?
It's incredible.
She's a farm girl.
I can't really.
I'm just kidding. Renee, take this out. I don't want Renee.
I'm gonna
Her
get-
brother-
I'm gonna get a-
She
can we-
sent me
can
the
we
night-
patch
Her
in
brother
right now?
raped
No,
Scott.
no,
Can we?
no. She
Can
sent
you
me the
patch her in?
nicest baby
Patch
gift.
her in right
She
now,
gave me a
just-
box of baby gifts that was so sweet.
I'm gonna
Like,
patch her in.
my
You're gonna.
my
talk to
wife
her.
loves. She's such a nice person, Renee. But I thought she was from like Bumble.
She's from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Pigeon Forge,
Yeah,
Tennessee.
and
So that
that's-
sounds like a farm girl.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm telling
Country
you.
girl.
I'm gonna put your phone right now.
Okay.
There you go.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
you're in
Got any
trouble.
service here?
No service. Damn.
We're in the basement of the comedy store.
We'll have to wait.
Oh, there you go.
Fuck. No, I know they didn't get service in Pigeon Fork.
My kid will probably answer the phone.
Peaches, is that her name?
That's her real name.
Oh, really?
Renee.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here with Adam, Dean, and Nikki. We're on the podcast,
Hi, Renee.
and I.
Oh gosh,
Hey.
and you're pulling like the vice president Pence thing, and they're not trying
Yes,
to.
but wait a minute. No, I need you to set Adam straight about something. So, Adam
Oh,
called.
I will set him straight. I'm
Oh.
happy to set him
Okay,
straight.
Ooh.
Adam called you a farm girl.
Oof.
Go. Go. Adam Hunter, go ahead, go, Renee.
No, I just said that you're from the Tennessee where there's a lot of farms and you're a girl. So will those two meet?
You're backpedaling now. There's a big. Okay, so are you from New York?
Yes.
And would you be offended if I called you that you're from New Jersey?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't get that offended, but I could.
Little bit.
Yeah, but maybe a
Little
little.
bit.
Well, not really. I mean, sure,
Put
probably.
a pin in your balloon a little bit. There's a difference between a farm girl and a country girl.
Okay.
I'm a country girl.
All right, country girl. I meant country girl. But are there farms in the
Yeah,
country?
you better.
Hmm.
It's like hillbilly and redneck.
Okay. All right.
There's a difference.
Which
There
is
is a
which is better?
You call me a farm girl to my face, and you're gonna leave with scars.
No,
Oh.
no, absolutely not. I will not do that. I promise
I
you.
love that
I would. Yeah, she's adorable.
That
She's-
accent's
she's-
awesome.
All right,
the
I
best.
just wanted you to set him straight because
Thank
I was,
you.
I
Thank
was
you,
trying
Renee.
to.
Thank you, Renee.
And he,
and Scott volunteered you for babysitting as well.
What did you say?
I said to Adam, if your baby lived closer, my wife would love to watch her because she loves watching baby. She watches my kids, my brother's kid.
Oh, hey,
But he
we,
lived-
we live really close together. How do you feel about watching
Spoil
5
that
kids?
Baby rotten. I will spoil that baby rotten and hand him back to you any day.
Oh,
Hand
thank
her
you.
back to
That would
any day.
that would be amazing.
I
Thank
love
you.
Renee.
Thank
I
you.
already bought her a Snow White outfit.
We
because she's a
love.
princess.
She loves it. It's the best gift we've ever gotten, aside from Dean's.
Yeah.
Okay, so and Nikki's.
Yeah, really.
Thank you so much, Renee. That was the best.
Thank you, Renee.
Let me ask you something really quick.
Sure.
Has nothing to do with anything except for the apple. there's an apple in the story of Snow White, right? You eat them.
Yep.
Right.
An apple.
Yep.
Right. In the Bible, the forbidden fruit is the apple.
Mhm.
Yep.
Take the one bite out of it. And then also in the Bible, it talks about once we become numbers, it's like the spawn of Satan, or it's bad.
Yeah.
Adam's
But in
Jewish,
the book
by
of
the way.
Revelations, that's okay. But in the book of Revelations, we know who wins. God wins, so he believes in God. But if you look at this in the Bible, in the New Testament, it talks about when we become numbers, then it's something you need to fear.
Okay.
What was the number one source of social or of like the internet?
Google?
You know what it was?
No.
What
MySpace?
computer? What computer was first?
Oh, the apple.
Apple.
And what is the logo of the apple?
An apple.
An apple that's
With a
big.
bite out of it.
Wow.
Oh.
Thank you. That sounds like Dean.
Oh, wow. That's pretty.
So what does that have to do with him and his? What,
Um,
where is that coming from?
Maybe you shouldn't babysit for my kid.
Yeah.
From everything from like Disney movies to
That's very
like,
interesting,
internet
Renee.
and
Renee.
all
She's
kinds of
really
places
she
and,
gets
like,
into all this stuff.
Renee, Dime Bar Tuesday. We could do 5 minutes.
I'm a
Yeah.
nerd.
Just-
Hey,
Get
I'm
your
a
best
nerd.
apple
I'm a
material.
nerd.
Hey, honey,
Does she do medical marijuana? What's going
She's
on?
brilliant. Your wife is
listen,
brilliant.
tell these guys how romantic I am.
Oh God.
We heard he threw flowers at you the other day.
Today, this morning.
Today.
I threw some flowers in the window. All right, sweetheart.
I will tell you this. When we were married, maybe since we've been in this house, so maybe 3 years. My birthday is Christmas Eve. And
Me
I've
too.
always asked him,
Oh, really? Nikki's
Yeah,
is
Renee, me
Christmas Eve,
too.
I've always asked him, don't give me one birthday/Christmas gift.
You give
I
her
don't
one
like ruin
birthday
my whole life
gift?
having to get excited. Give me a different gift. He told me on my birthday one year, you know, I got your gift. It's coming. It's really big. You're gonna love it. You know, this is your gift. He made me wait until we're getting ready to go out to dinner on my birthday, and he didn't even wrap it. He hands me a shower head.
Oh my
He
God.
hands the desk with his shower
Oh my God. Wow, this is-
about beat him to death with it.
Good job
So the
calling
next
her.
day-
Wow.
so
Oh
the
my.
next day was
A
Christmas.
shower head.
A
But-
shower
but,
head.
but wait,
So the
this.
next-
Go ahead, finish, and
No.
I'll
Was
tell
it
my.
a Speakman? Was it a nice shower head? Was it a
Yes.
Speakman?
Well, the reason I got the shower head was because she
So
wanted.
we can wash Bailey's hair.
No, she wanted a shower head that you could remove off the thing with massage on it.
Yeah, but not for a.
So being a
not
practical
birthday
guy,
present.
I'm a practical guy.
The gift
I
that
bought her,
keeps on
I bought her
giving.
very expensive headphones one year that she could wear listening to
Yeah, a
music.
toolbox you got
Right?
her.
And I bought her a shower head.
That
She
was our
almost
first
lost her.
anniversary.
She
No,
almost
no, no, no. That was
That's
our
great.
first
A
anniversary.
shoehorn for
bought the
for
sho-
Valentine's Day.
Scott, please. You
My
bought the
ex-wife
shower
got
head
me
so
a
that
mop
it detaches
Wow.
so
for
I could
Christmas
wash her
once.
daughter's hair.
So I can wash the. Make it easier for her.
Wow,
Make
man.
it easier for you to wash
Wow,
Bailey's
happy
hair.
Valentine's Day. Here's a hammer.
So, I go to dinner and
Here's
so
the
I go to
level.
dinner-
That's awesome.
We go to dinner at Jerry's Deli, and I cry on Christmas Eve, and I wake up Christmas morning.
It's our year anniversary. Here's a spatula, babe.
Listen, I wake up Christmas morning. There's no presents for me to open or anything, and then underneath the tree, there's an envelope with his stationery. It's not a card. It's stationery.
How business
And
professional.
It was like $3,000 worth of $100 bills
Okay.
in it, and it said,
Oh.
"I love you."
How's that?
That's nice.
That's
nice.
Redemption.
That's
you
nice.
redeemed
Thank you.
yourself.
But
That's-
you know he did that night when he got home.
Damn right.
Oh, there you
He's
go.
like,
All right,
I
honey,
gotta
I'm-
find a bank
I'm
that's
leaving-
open
I'm
on
leaving.
Christmas
Right.
Eve.
I'm leaving soon.
We're not gonna top that.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wow.
Bye.
Romance by Scott Baio.
That's right.
Wow, you should write a book.
Very practical shit, right?
A
I-
book
what
of-
if I use something you need rather than something you know.
Yeah, no, but
closet.
you know,
I
maybe
do, I
you
do
needed
both.
that.
I do both. I'll get a practical gift for you, and then I'll get a gift that's frivolous and girly.
Well,
And
Dean, you're
but
a
I-
romantic guy. I am not.
I got a mop from my ex-wife.
Really?
Like Christmas
Really?
once. Yeah, I lost
Why?
my shit.
A mop?
Cause I'm a neat guy, and I used to mop the floors and stuff in the house all the time. She wasn't.
Like, was that
very
part of the
domestic.
gift, or was that like?
No, I got practical stuff because I got like socks and underwear and stuff like that, some shirts, and then of course I got her necklaces and nice clothing and stuff like that, and then she gave me this self-wringing mop, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like
Wow.
I took umbrage with it.
You think?
Yeah,
Damn. Well,
That
that's
pissed
why
me
she's
off.
your ex-wife.
yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna be at the by the time this comes out, the Stratosphere in Las Vegas, July 1st to the 7th.
When is this coming out?
July 18th through 21st in Naples. July 26th, opening for Russell Peters in San Jose. MGM National Harbor in Maryland, Russell Peters, August 17th. And the Looney Bin in Little Rock, August 21st to 24th.
You still talking? I'm
Yes,
sorry. Nikki
sorry.
and I were having a conversation with Scott.
Scott, honestly, you are a fantastic guest. It was an
You
honor
are.
to meet you in person. Seriously, great energy.
Such a
Staten
great guy.
Island buddy.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Scott. Such a great guy. Always great to see you. Thanks for listening
This
to
was
Daddy
fun.
Issues. And
Next
we'll
time,
catch
bring
you
it
in
to
the
my
next
house. So,
Yeah,
Only
let
if you give us a shower head.
Let us know when Game of Robes with Scott Baio
Yeah.
drops.
I will let you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we can't
plug
wait.
it for you.
Thank you.
All right.
I have some pizza.
Yes.
All
All right.
right.
We're going to have some pizza. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you soon.